Okay, listen, there's a 1 in 100 billion chance that when you interact with an object, the atoms in your body phase through it. It's called quantum tunneling. I would be the first person in existence to ever experience this, and I would be making scientific history right here. Let's get it first try. So, something happened to my camera. I don't know what's going on, but it turns out that trial test number 1 was a failure, and 2, and 3, and I did this more times than I would like to admit. There are 8 billion people that live on planet Earth. So is it truly possible that something has only happened to somebody once? Well, I used to, but then a little scroll on IG makes me feel like I'm in the Matrix now. Damn it. The game is simple. I'm gonna tell you stories from my life that I genuinely think have only ever happened to me. You're gonna compare that to your own life or somebody you know and see if it overlaps. If it does, let me know in the comments. Kinda like YouTube Never Have I Ever. But if nothing comes to mind, you gotta subscribe and write 1 of 1 in the comments. Do me a favor and just play along with me. It helps me out in the algorithm. I really appreciate it. Thanks. Great. Now with that being said, let's start our very first episode of Are You Special?
Round 1.
So do y'all remember these? Took the world by storm like 10-ish years ago. Yeah, you probably do. When I first laid eyes on these as a kid, I knew I wanted one. I begged and I pleaded with my mom to try to get me one. Mind you, these were like $3 at the time, but I didn't know that. Either way, I was ready to play the long game. I have a really hard time of letting go of something once I have my sights set on it. Eventually, I get her to budge. In 3 days and an Amazon trip later, I have my very first fidget spinner. It wasn't this one, actually. I procured a few fidget spinners over the years. I know, the benefits of the 1% lifestyle that I live. And of course, the very next day, I bring my fidget spinner to school to show off to all my friends. Now, I get to school, and then there's this other kid. Let's call him Al. Al had a fidget spinner, a nice black one, right? So for reasons I'm not sure why, we decided that we would exchange them. I would give him mine, he would give mine. You know how exchanges work. When the classes do start and our teachers pick us up to go to first period, we meet in the hallway, we exchange our fidget spinners back, and then we go to class. Now I'm in science class mixing baking soda and vinegar for the 100th time or something, and Al comes up to me, he's like, hey, do you still have my fidget spinner? I'm like, nah, we traded back a few minutes ago. You probably just put it in your bag. He goes to check in his bag, it's not in his bag. He comes back, hey man, this isn't funny. I really need my fidget spinner back. Now, I didn't get his mindset because what he's proposing is that when we went to trade our fidget spinners back to each other, that he gave me mine back and then just didn't take his and I walked away, which just doesn't sound like it makes sense, but whatever. We gave the fidget spinners as collateral for each other. Nevertheless, I still, as the good-hearted person I am, let him look through my bag. I empty my pockets, I even look around the area with him. Still, nothing turns up. Now, what probably happened was there's a class where you go to like our homeroom class before we go to the special like lab room where we do the science stuff, and he probably dropped it there. Now, instead of just sitting there and cutting his losses, he goes to the teacher and tells her that I stole his fidget spinner. Let's call the science teacher Miss S. Now, side note, Miss S was lame as hell. She was one of those malicious, manipulative teachers that you don't realize overstep their boundaries because you're a little kid and you think all your teachers are right. She calls me up, I empty my pockets in front of her, all of that, and I thought that'd be that. Let's just take a guess real quick. What do you think a grown woman did about a $3 piece of plastic that 2 kids were bickering about? She called the dean on me, saying once again that I stole his fidget spinner. Now, I'm starting to get mad as hell because I'll be damned if I get in actual trouble over this guy's lack of object permanence. So same shtick, I get pulled out to the hallway along with Al to explain the situation with him. So he heard both of our stories. He was like,
well, you're both saying opposite things. It's your word against his. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, he also realized that it just wasn't that deep. Now I get back to the classroom. Miss S wasn't satisfied. She's putting up crime LeBron numbers when it comes to trying to get me in trouble. So she asked the whole class, who saw Pix give his spinner back? Some hands raised. Okay, and who didn't see it? More hands raised. Well, it seems that most of the class didn't see you give his spinner back, so I think you're lying. No, I'm not making this up. A grown woman tried to create a democratic effort against my fidget spinner, which is as stupid as it sounds. I really shouldn't have to say this. If even one person raised their hand, I should have had a case, but whatever. And little Mr. I respect authority and my teachers are always right didn't say anything about it. Now at this point, I think she's just trying to find an excuse to cavity search me because I don't know where else this fidget spinner would be. So screw Miss S. For the rest of the story, we're gonna call her Miss Diddy. So now, due to Miss Diddy's efforts to be Employee of the Year, the entire class knew about this little situation between me and Al. And kids do what they do and pick sides. And there's this issue when you're a kid, it's not about who has evidence or logic. It's about who is more popular. And I was a loser in elementary school. Mind you, this was the start of the day, the first period. So they harassed me the entire day about this fidget spinner that I supposedly stole. That was fun. But Pix, it's only like 30 kids. That's not too bad. It could always be worse. You see, dear viewer, I also went to after school, which was a mosh pit of like 10 different classes all at once. And guess what? Yeah, I was more popular than me in after school too. I actually have this vivid memory of when my dad came to pick me up that day. A horde of so many kids just like came up to him to tell him how much of a bad person I was. So, made 100 people hate me over a fidget spinner. Any takers? I don't know. I number 2. This story also takes place when I was younger. Me and my dad went to Best Buy because he needed to get another MacBook cable. This is when those cables were made out of like lanyard and prayers. So he's going past the store, we're walking. We passed the Skylander section, right? Now in the Skylander section, there's this one Skylander called Rumble Rouser, right? Oh, let me show you. All right, like, look at him. He got little like drill feet and stuff in his hammer. Like he's tough, he's tough. Now this is when Skylanders was like at its peak, like really cooking up. So I asked my dad if I could get it, and of course he says no. So native to me, I played the long game. I picked up the Skylander box and I walked around the store, dragging my feet, looking mad sad like a lost puppy, like got you this time. It didn't work most of the time, but it was worth a shot. So we're walking, he's ignoring me, and then we get to the register, right? But I stayed steady in my result. I think this is when like my ninja skills really peaked. Let me give you a play-by-play. Me and the cashier lock eyes, right? I'm sitting like here, he's up there. I'm like, 8. My dad puts the cable on the table. The cashier scans the cable. And as my dad's going for his wallet to pay for it, in those about 4 seconds, I put the Skylander box on the table. He scans it, puts it in the bag before my dad can even look up again. Absolutely immaculate play. And my dad was none the wiser. We walk back to the car, we start driving off, and as he's looking at the receipt, he's like, damn, like this stuff really expensive. Obviously, he soon pieced 2 and 2 together, and it was on the receipt after all. But that initial flare of shock was enough for my dad to realize how bad it was constantly having to buy a new cable every few weeks, and it inspired him to begin to prototype the Frayfix, a little product that drastically increased the lifespan of a cable. Over the course of the Frayfix's lifetime, it garnered a valuation of around $500,000. So now let's put it on the board. Used a Skylander to inspire a $500,000 business. Any takers? Now I'm a rule of 3s person, and there was supposed to be a third one, which would have been the quantum tunneling, but the door doesn't want to help me make content. So let's do something fun. Let me know what your original experiences are. Something that you genuinely believe in your heart of hearts that has only ever happened to you. And let other people critique it and tell you you're not special. Or not. Maybe. I think it'd be fun, you know? I want to kind of have a whole thing going on here. A little nice interaction with the community. Will I get it? Maybe. I don't know. But it's fun to do this with y'all, you know? Either way, like the video if you like the video. Have a good day.